Round the Wreck with Steve Masters. Steve, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good to have you with us, and a lot of excitement going on with our Parks and Recreation Department, and let's jump right into it. You got the dog walk coming up soon.
We got a dog walk this Saturday out at Lake Howard. Me and Billy Bean and Perry Clark went to a mountain bike conference up in North Carolina. We're trying to find ways to improve the trail that we have. We actually got plans to extend the trail that we have. And we talked to different bike clubs up there and, different ways that we can get people on your trail and gain more interest. And this is one of the ideas that was passed around. A lot of other communities are doing this. Our animal shelter does an amazing job with the resources that they do have.
I don't see how they do it. I honestly don't.
That's not for me. I'm proud there's people like that in this world. I love dogs, and I live right down the street from Lake Howard, and we used to have a husky, and me and her walked that trail literally every day, and if we didn't, she would leave the house and go walk it by herself. So I know how much dogs love that trail. It's a beautiful place. They have a need, we have a spot, so I just felt like a perfect fit.
So that's coming up Saturday. What time is it going to be taking place?
You're going to be able to get out there. We'll be there early, obviously, but it gets hot really, really quick in Alabama this time of year. So we're going to be out there from 9:30 to 11:30. If you come out there and walk a dog, we're going to serve you hot dogs and chips, and there's going to be drinks out there.
So there's rewards,
There's
right?
a reward for walking the dog, and one of the coolest things about it is we're going to let the dogs go play in the water afterwards and cool off and have a good time. And, it's just going to be a real good fit for the people doing it and the animals themselves.
That Sylacauga Trail, if people don't know anything, that is a hidden gem right there.
That was a brainchild between Perry Clark and Billy Bean, and we had a really big bike club at that time, and I used to ride all the time. There were trails in the National Forest that we knew about, but when they put that trailhead in and had that built, and Sam Wright was a big part of that, it is absolutely gorgeous. People, every time that I go, there's tags from Florida, and Georgia, and Tennessee out there. Like, we have the big races out there every year. The Pinhoti 100 always has somebody from all 50 states. It's unbelievable that people want to drive to Sylacauga, Alabama to run 100 miles, keep in mind. But it's a hidden gem, and we're just trying to get more people. 100 miles. Yes, sir. So it's just a beautiful place, and we want people to get out there and use it.
And, we talk about that, and there's rewards for our city for people coming into our town.
Absolutely there is. When you're talking about the people who drive these Mercedes step vans that's converted into campers, and, we have four actually big mountain bike races out there, and generally these are professional people. These are people who work all week and make extra money to buy these toys and travel to go do these events. And when we have them here, they're usually here 2 to 3 days, and they're eating, they're buying fuel, they're shopping. So,
even though the calendar and the temperature says summer, fall will roll around before very much longer, and fall registration for different events are already starting.
It's amazing. Fall sports, everybody thinks baseball. Sylacauga is a baseball town. We're baseball guys. We were talking about our lovely Braves before this started. But fall is our busiest sports season that we have. We have registration going on right now. It's through next Friday, August the 1st. Currently we're registering for cheerleading, volleyball, flag football, tackle football, and soccer. So we got a lot going on right now. It's a really busy time.
That involves a lot of kids too, doesn't it?
So we start at age 3 with soccer. We go up to age 16 with soccer. We do volleyball by grades. Usually in the fall, there's north of 400 to 500 kids that's enrolled in our program. So, we try to keep them busy and offer a variety of different things because not everybody likes football, not everybody likes volleyball. So we try to offer a lot of things. Hunter Kane and Jesse do an amazing job with the facilities and keeping everything organized. And I just try to sneak in where I can.
Stay out of the way, man.
I did that job for 12 years, so I know enough about it to help, but man, they got it. When they got it, I stay out of their way and make sure they got what they need.
So how do people find out more information about registering for the different events?
Registering for sports for the fall, you can go to sylacauga.recdesk.com. You can come see us at the rec. We have forms that we can fill you out there. Obviously, you got a QR code right there. And any way we can get information to you, Lauren does a great job with that. We've got our website, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram. We've got a Facebook page just for rec sports. That's Sylacauga Rec Sports. And that's the quickest way for you to see when registration is, when games are canceled, when something had to be rescheduled. So I encourage everybody to follow us on those pages.
So if that's not enough, there's more.
There's always more. Everybody right now is getting ready to go back to school. There's been a couple of great events around town with people, trying to do something for the kids to have a big summer bash. And we've got ours next Friday night. It's going to be at Noble Park from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night.
Can I stop you right here, Steve?
Yes, sir.
You won't be able to stir them with a stick
Oh,
that
it's
night.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The renovations we've done at Noble Park has made it just tremendous. And then, when you have an event out there under the shade trees during the summer at night, we're looking forward to a great event. We're going to have a group giving away school supplies there. We're going to have big bouncy houses for the kids. Obviously, we got that ADA accessible, beautiful playground that's built. So we're looking forward to a great night next Friday.
Sylacauga's a giving town, isn't it?
It is. You had Miss Lee in here earlier with ARC, and a lot of us groups, people don't see it when you watch council meetings and stuff like that, but a lot of us department heads are friends. We're all on the same page. We're all pulling in the same direction. And anytime that you got a department in need, they jump.
Yeah.
Every time you need something, everybody jumps to try to help you. I see why people want to come to this town. We don't advertise it enough, but we take care of our citizens. I mean, there's no doubt about that, and all of our citizens.
What are some of the supplies right off the top of your head that may be available next?
I know they do the classic notebooks and the pens and the pencils.
It's kind of changed a little bit, though.
It seems like the list gets longer and changes every year, but they're going to have some clear backpacks. You got all these rules and regulations now, and good rules and regulations. But DeCorey Hale and his group is getting that ready. And he's done it every year with us. Normally we just give him a space since he's a nonprofit and, trying to help the kids. So we decided this year, instead of him being at the gym and us being at the park, to try to work together. And his group's going to be out there, and they do a fantastic job with this program.
Steve Master, Executive Director of Sylacauga Parks and Rec, our guest this morning. Got the dog walk coming up, fall registration for sports, the back to school bash. And then there is more too. Everybody wants to know about the pickleball courts. Where are we on this now?
So we've got the final plans done. We went through the bid process. I'm ecstatic to say that a local contractor won the bid for the project.
Oh, that's great.
Anytime you're doing a project that's over $1 million and you can keep that money in your hometown, that's amazing. So we can't officially announce who it is because we got to wait for the city council to approve the contract and for them to sign the contract. But I will tell you, they're located very close to where the pickleball court is going to be located. And we're ready to start the project. Mr. Wynn Livingston's going over the contract now. Once he approves it, it'll be on the next agenda. The city council will let the mayor sign it. And from what I understand, I've talked to a couple of the subcontractors, and they've told them mid-August they need to be ready to go to work. So we're looking at 8 pickleball courts, full-size basketball court, a green space. It's landscaped by the same gentleman who did Railroad Park in Birmingham.
Nice.
If you've ever been to that park, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. I did a count on the trees and the plants out there. There's going to be 316 3-gallon plants in that one area. So that eyesore that we faced for years and years is going to finally be turned into something gorgeous. We're going to have ADA restrooms. So it's something we're really excited about. And, you know, something we talked about years ago. You know, that's an LWCF park. There was grant money that originally built that pool, and we weren't eligible to apply for future grants until that site was turned into something else. This site was approved to turn into a pickleball court. I've already reached out to them. They've got the set of plans. As soon as we get finished, they're going to check us off that bad list, and, you know, that's more money and more opportunity for us in the future.
Wow. A lot of good happenings going on in Sylacauga. Now, as far as the finality of the pickleball courts and basketball courts being ready for use, any idea on that?
You know, depends on weather. Usually, you know, this time of year through October is usually pretty dry for us, so I have a really good feeling about it. We've reached out to the subs and the general contractor. Everybody's ready to go to work. I'm not a construction guy, but when I look at this project myself, it's not rocket science. You know, it's flat ground with asphalt and paint and fences and lights and stuff, but I wish I could answer that question. I know the contract says 180 days, you know, something like that, but my goal was to have this thing open before the weather turned bad this year, and that's still our goal. You know, we got really good weather into early November, maybe December around here, but you know, this is something that's going to serve our community for years and years and years to come. And a bonus part of this project is the tennis courts out there. You know, you're supposed to resurface tennis courts every 6 to 8 years. And while we got these contractors in town doing the pickleball courts, it's the same idea, so we're going to refinish the tennis courts too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's amazing.
The tennis courts are being used now for pickleball too.
They are. And you know, we currently got tennis lessons going on, advanced tennis lessons. We got a tennis tournament coming up, a youth tournament where we're bringing folks in from Elliott City and Pale City in that area. And you know, those groups don't always get along like they should, but you know, we're here to promote everybody in every sport. And Wes is doing an amazing job with our tennis program, and we're just looking forward to the future and seeing what we can do next. So,
final thoughts this morning with Steve Master, Executive Director of the Sylacauga Parks and Recreation Department in Sylacauga. The swimming pool and the complex that has been on the table for quite some time, at least being talked about. Any further update on this at all?
You know, anytime you deal with government entities, there's hoops and loops and jumps, and then you get backtracked, and then you have to back up and jump the ramp again. But the stage we're at now, we're almost finished with the design phase of this project. We got a few tweaks depending on how it's officially oriented on that piece of property. Then they'll go to their construction documents, which is where the plugs are and where the wires are. You know, that's when I step away. But we're deep into that phase. We're doing some adjustments to the layout of the swimming pool. Our goal is for us to be able to have a pool party here while somebody's over here swimming, while somebody's exercising, while somebody's doing therapy. So, you know, years ago when we had a pool party, the pool wasn't open to the public.
Right.
And that's not something we want to repeat. We want this pool to service everybody at the same time. Our next step on this is we're going in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Their next meeting, I think it's the second week of August. And we have to get approval to get that piece of property. We got to get a conditional use agreement with them because it is zoned for downtown commercial. And if you're putting something besides commercial, you got to get approval for that. So we're doing that the second week of August. And I've talked to the architects. You know, the same architects is doing the pickleballs, doing the thing, and it's the same group that's doing the pickleball that was doing the park. So they assure me that we're going to put a shovel in the ground in December, and I'm going to keep my foot on them and make sure that happens.
Well, I've got a shovel. If it don't happen, you and I can go out there and put a shovel in the dirt.
It may come down to that.
There you go. Steve, thanks for coming by this morning. Always pleasure to see you. And folks, if you haven't been by our recreation facilities in town or some of the other happenings as far as our parks are concerned, we've got beautiful parks here in Sylacauga.
They're doing a great job with them for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And get by there and visit and be a part of some positive happenings going on in Sylacauga, Alabama. Around the Rec with Steve Masters. We got more coming up after this.